Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. In this live stream, we are going to spend a little bit of time talking about my secrets. I have been keeping secrets from you guys, and yesterday I actually revealed two of those secrets to you. One was revealed on the YouTube machine. One was revealed on Twitch yesterday, and I was very close to actually just releasing my Twitch video on YouTube today, but I decided that I was just going to go live and make the announcement here live myself instead of making you guys watch it as a replay. I was close to taking a nap, decided to get myself up, have a cup of coffee, and then I was like, you know what? I'm frisky enough to just do a live stream. So we are going to actually talk about some secrets. And I have people that reach out to me from time to time and they ask me if I'm willing to get involved with this, that, or the other. And I sometimes have to say no to those things. And I have to say no to those things because I don't want to overcommit myself, because there's a lot of things that are happening behind the scenes, like what I announced yesterday and what I'm going to be announcing today, that suck up a lot of my time. And sometimes what happens is if you have enough irons in the fire, things get really hot sometimes all at the same time. And so I never want to be in this position where I can't release a video to you guys because I'm tired of doing this, or I can't follow through on a commitment that I've made to somebody because this other thing that I also committed to conflicts with the other. And it's just this balancing act that I try to maintain between my family, my professional life, and then what I do here as a YouTuber and content creator. There is a delicate balance, and sometimes that requires me to say no to opportunities. And so I hope that people out there that have reached out to me to ask me to do this, that, or the other kind of understands that it's not necessarily that I want to say no, it's that I have to say no just because I have a lot of things going on that I can't always talk about. And so I hopefully people get that. Hopefully people understand where I'm coming from, because the last thing I want to do is to ever disappoint someone because I don't show up or I commit and then I have to uncommit. That is like the worst thing to me, right? I'm a big fan of doing exactly what it is that I say. And if I don't do it, I'm going to try to tell you why I didn't do it, because a lot of times I have a good reason. So hopefully that puts, I want to put that out there in the universe, because a lot of people reach out to me and kind of ask things. And I think may walk away like, wow, why do you say no? Well, there's a reason for it. So we are going to get into my secret here in just a couple of moments. I want to say hello to some comic book soldiers that have joined me here in the chat. My man Rush, my Canadian brother Rush, die hard, stand up. It's good to see you. Young Matthew is in the house. Always good to see you, my friend. Scrolling down through the names here, Jeff B is in the house. How you doing, brother? You guys were having a nice little conversation. Ariel's in the house. Stand up, gibbongang. Stand up. Scrolling down, Ryan, how you doing, Ryan? OGs, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Scrolling down through the names here. Oh man, Cuz Buzz, I have not seen you in a month of Sundays. I've not seen, think about that. For those that don't know that expression, a month of Sundays, think about that. And super honorable nephew, how you doing, brother? My man, Master Blaster, it's good to see you, my friend. Jeremy is in the house. John's Comics with Kids is in the house. Stand up. Nostalgia Junkies is here. My man, Hydra Collectibles, how you doing, bro? It's good to see you, my friend. So, yeah, so I've been keeping secrets, and I will tell you that there are a lot more secrets out there that I have yet to reveal to you guys, that at some point, as those things continue to come to fruition, I will reveal those things. But this project that I'm going to talk about today, this has been a project that has literally been going on for quite some time. And I've kind of alluded to it at various points. If you really pay attention, I put some of the stuff out there, but this is one that's been out there in the works for some time. And we were trying to make some magic happen, and we thought that we were going to do it, and then it got delayed. And so I decided that I was just going to go it alone. I was going to go a different path. And many of you know that I started to get into some of the indies recently. So I've been reading a lot more DC, a lot more Image, a lot more of the independent stuff that is out there. And I've really been enjoying it. And so as a result of this increased exposure to some of the indies that are out there, it got me to thinking about some things that I might want to do, some things that I wanted to do with one of the big two, but couldn't make that magic happen. But with the indies, I found that I could actually make some magic happen. And what I'm talking about is that there is going to be a Regie Collects exclusive variant that is going to be released next month. And this has been something that, as I mentioned, has been in the works kind of sort of for a while, but definitively in the works for, I want to say, like the last 3 months or so. I've been working on this one behind the scenes, and I'm going to provide you guys with some of the details as to how this thing actually unfolded. Certainly, if you guys have some questions along those lines, throw it up in all caps because that will actually help me see it. But we are going to be doing a Regie Collects exclusive variant specifically from Ablaze Studios. Ablaze has some incredible titles out there that I have been reading for the last several months and thoroughly enjoyed them. And so I reached out to them and said, hey, so this whole variant thing, whole exclusive variant cover thing, what's the deal with that? And so we had a back and forth. The VP over there and I had a back and forth exchange, and they kind of laid out the process for me. And I was like, you know what? I can do that. I can make that magic happen. And so I have been grinding, trying to make it happen. And in this video, I'm actually going to show you guys the original art that was created for that cover. I'll show you what the color version of that cover looks like, and then I'm going to give you guys some additional details about how I made this thing really sexy. So with that, I will tell you, well, let me show you the artwork, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about the story. Maybe that's how we'll do it. The artist that worked on this was a guy by the name of Yukio Smith. And Yukio Smith is actually on the Instagram machine. I first became aware of him several months ago when Comics Price Guide actually gave away a piece of his artwork. And I was like, man, that guy's style is pretty dope. So I ended up following him. And then when this opportunity to create a variant for myself actually came up, I was like, I think I have the perfect guy to be able to do it for me. And so this is the artwork that was created. I don't know how big this thing is, but it is pretty big. But this is the cover that Yukio actually created for me. And it is really stunning. You know, the cool thing about this thing is that I had a vision for what I wanted to create. I shared that vision with him. He created 4 different mock-ups of how this thing could actually look. And then I debated which of the 4 that I wanted to go with. And consulted my wife, and I said, Kel, this is what I want to do. What do you think? And my wife has a much better artistic value than I. And she was like, you want to go with that one? We picked it, and then we were basically off and running. But that is the piece that was created. Now, what I want to show you, and I want you guys to look at this. I want you guys to look at this piece right here. Look at this. And is anything familiar about this? I'm curious. Is anything familiar as you look at this cover art? And Geek Aficionado got it. He got it. Ooh, Ryan got it as well. Yes, indeed. It is very much influenced by Amazing Spider-Man number 110. In fact, it is an homage. It is an homage, if you will, to the gibbongang Amazing Spider-Man 110. If you look at it, it is indeed that cover. Somebody actually mocked this up for me with me in the upper right-hand corner. If you see that, the customizable Regie Collects logo, that's fake. That's fake. But maybe one day we'll make it a dream. But this piece was intended to be an homage to Amazing Spider-Man 110. Now, why? Why an homage? Because the book that this thing is going to be printed on is Ablaze Studios Gung Ho issue number 7. It is the final issue in a 7-part story arc, as you already surmised from that. But the cool thing about Gung Ho is that it's a post-apocalyptic type of story that is being told, in which humans are basically quarantined, if you will, in these almost like compounds that are defended against the outside influences. And the outside influences are basically these primates, these white colored primates that come in like 3 different sizes, are basically, tearing up everything outside of the compound. So all the people are in these various compounds in this dystopian type of future, and they are always on guard against attacks from these primates. And this is actually one of those primates. And he is white colored. And so he takes the place of the gibbon. The 2 main stars of Gung Ho are these 2 brothers right here. And then down below are some of the other folks that are part of their gang, if you will. But instead of the cityscape, what we did is we did a wooden outlook post, because in Gung Ho, they actually build these outposts in order to see off into the distance to protect the camp against these primates who attack. And so we did a little bit of a swap out, if you will, of what you see here on the screen with Gibbon and Spider-Man and the cityscape, with something that was much more fitting to Gung Ho. And so it was, in my opinion, just a really cool thing. It was a cool story that I was enjoying, that I could find a way to actually leverage to honor something that was truly unique to this channel, because the Gibbongang and Amazing Spider-Man 110 is very much an organic kind of thing that we created here. And so there you go. That is my homage to the Gibbongang. And so to the point, and I will get to the chat here in just a second, but I want to show you guys the color version of this thing that is essentially being created. And this is what it is going to look like. It is going to be a virgin cover. That's actually one thing that I've been pushing for, is a virgin cover, so that we can actually see, the full cover, because I think the cover is really nice. Some crazy colors that Yukio came up with. I think he did a fantastic job. And so it's going to be a virgin cover. The back cover is going to be entirely red. And I haven't seen the mock-up yet, but it'll be red. It'll have a Regie Collects logo there, along with, I think it should also say Gung Ho on there as well, to identify which issue we're talking about here. But I think it's going to be a really cool book. It will be available in August exclusively from my website, regiecollects.com. So definitely pumped about this one. I'm going to pop it back over to the chat and see what you guys are talking about. And then we're going to continue with some additional details around this thing. So let me see. Thank you, brother. I missed a comment. There was a congratulatory comment here. What is this? Yeah, man. I am unveiling the Gung Ho variant. Thank you, JT. I definitely appreciate that. I'm gonna have a lemonade stand, cup of lemonade and a Gung Ho 7 for you. Swing on by the house. I got you covered. So scrolling down through the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. Yeah, so here, let me get to this point right now. So Ariel's raising a really good question that I'll go ahead and jump into right now. So thankfully, because of the relationships that I've been able to build with people in the industry, the comic book industry, over the last couple of years, I'm actually in a position to be able to do a couple of things. The pricing services are going to recognize the variant, which is really cool. So it'll actually get loaded into the databases for comicspriceguide.com and also Go Collect. And so people might be like, well, how are you getting into Go Collect? Because Go Collect only recognizes CGC slab books. Well, there you go. Because of my relationship and all that kind of stuff with CGC, they are also going to allow me to do something really cool. They are going to recognize my signature as a creator. And so I will actually be able to sign comics, and those comics will get a yellow label. And so what I'm going to be doing is I'm basically going to be printing 500 total copies of Gung Ho issue number 7, the Regie Collects exclusive variant, only 500 copies. And what I'm going to be doing is breaking out those into chunks. So there will be raw books that will be sold that are going to be in my head higher grade, right? And what I'll do is the others will, the ones that are like damaged because of shipping, will probably be given away as like readers' copies, right? So the raw copies will be available to people at a price. I will have 9.8s blue label that are available to people. And then I'm also going to have yellow label signed by me 9.8s as well. So we're going to have 3 different options: raw books, blue label, yellow label. And then what I'll probably do for like the yellow labels, I'll probably give away a reader's copy as well. I don't know if I'll do that for the blue label, but at least for the yellow label, those will actually come with the reader's copy. So in my head, that's what I'm thinking. Now, Ariel asked a question about the quantities. What I don't know is the quantities just yet, because as you know, it's expensive to get books graded. And so I'm trying and I'm trying to figure out like what numbers and what price points actually make sense for people, right? Because I don't want it to be high where people can't get something really cool. And I don't want it to be too low where I can't recover the costs associated with this whole endeavor of getting the art created and getting the print run done and shipping the books and getting them slabbed and all that kind of stuff. So there's a balance. And hopefully I will strike the right balance. But definitely excited about this one. And I think that's it. So yeah, at some point, some details will be provided as to pricing information and availability and all that kind of stuff. I'm waiting for a few more details to come in about that, but more to come. So let me see what you guys are talking about. Brother, I hope so. I hope that that's the problem that we have, is that they end up selling out before I get them. That's the hope, man. Hopefully I don't get stuck with a bunch of them. GarageCon V2 is, yeah, no doubt. Whenever we do it, it should be pretty solid. There should be some pretty solid stuff with everything that's actually happening. So you should save one for the Go Collect giveaway. Well, so here's the thing with the Go Collect giveaway: the books have to be of a certain value. So that means that the books have to be sold in a certain price range in order to actually show up, in order for me to do that. Or Go Collect will allow me to do something special, right? Because typically the book has to be between $150 and $200. And I don't think that I'll be selling the books for that price. But, maybe Go Collect will let me off the hook and let me do something like that. We'll have to see what's going to happen. So $100 per book. I'm in for one of each. My man, Jeremy. Good guy. Thank you, brother. Mike, welcome to the live stream. Scrolling down, can we get to win? ICT Vinny's like, yeah. When are they going to be available? So the books are supposed to be going to the printer next week. I've seen one draft of the cover, and I made some changes to it because I wanted to move some things around to make it more unique to me and to the channel. So I'm waiting for that mock-up to come back, but they're supposed to be going to the printer next week. And then I believe that the book is going to be released in August. I want to say like August 7th. What I don't know is when I will be getting the copies. So that's one thing that I'm still up in the air on, is when will I have the copies in my hand? Because that will help me to figure out when I can get the copies over to CGC in order to have them do the grading and all of that other stuff that has to come along with it. So I'm trying to figure out the timing of when they will be printed, when I will have them, to figure out potentially how I'm going to release them. Because part of me wants to say I'm not releasing anything at all until I have the raw books, the graded books, and the yellow label. But I don't know if I want to do that, because it may take, after arrival, 2 weeks for me to get them to CGC or whatever for them to come back. So I need to figure that out. I'm not a huge fan of taking people's money as pre-book and having that money be held. That makes me a little uncomfortable as well. So I need to think more about that. So let me scroll down through the comments here. What does it say? Carlito, how you doing, bro? It's good to see you. He says, so that means you can get ASM 110 and get a yellow. I think so, because there's paperwork that I have to sign that basically where I attest to the fact that I am who I am and that I do indeed sign these books. So I think I can sign just about anything, to be honest with you, which would include Amazing Spider-Man 110. So I actually need to do some research to figure out what to sign these books with, because the last thing you want to do is sign a book and it not be the right thing. So I need to do a little bit of research. Thankfully, I'm going to be down at CGC here soon, so I can actually see some professional sign books and maybe just get what they get, and then also ask some questions while I'm there as well. So I'm actually looking forward to that. Super Honorable Nephew is like, yeah. Just take my money and send me my book. Brother, everything goes, and let's put it this way. I don't know if I can answer that question directly. And I say that because, as I alluded to at the beginning of this live stream, there are a lot of things in the works right now. There's a lot of other projects. It all just kind of swirls around and then manifests itself in a couple of different ways. So I don't know, because when I read your question, what I read is $1 for $1. And I don't know if it's $1 for $1. It might be like $1 for 50 cents towards AF-15, right? Because again, there may be some other things that suck up 50 cents of that money. So more to come on that one. We still do, however, have the goal of picking up Amazing Fantasy 15 before the end of the year. We also are still working towards getting 10,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Those are the two big, hairy, audacious goals that I established for the channel. And to some degree or another, we are still on that course. I have not deviated from that. I've kind of meandered. I've kind of meandered by picking up 100,000 comics, but that is also, if you think about it, en route to those goals, both of those goals, in fact. Scrolling down through what you guys, can you repeat what I am working on? For those that came in a little late, there is going to be a Regie Collects exclusive Virgin variant that is going to be released in the month of August. This exclusive variant will be available from my website, regiecollects.com. It is going to be from Ablaze Studio. They have a fantastic series of comics, in my opinion, but one specifically called Gung Ho that I've been reading for several months that I enjoy. Issue number 7 is going to feature that exclusive Virgin variant that I just mentioned. This is the original artwork from a guy by the name of Yukio Smith on the Instagram machine. This is a cover that he worked on, and it is an homage to Amazing Spider-Man 110. This is actually a creature from the Gung Ho series. These are the two stars of the comic Two Brothers, and then these are some of their friends that are being thrown off the building down here. So this is what the cover will actually look like. That is the original art, and I will show you guys here on screen exactly what it actually looks like colored. And Yukio did a really fantastic job. He did a really fantastic job putting this thing together. I am really impressed with what he did, and I cannot wait to see this thing in the form of a yellow label comic on my wall behind me. But one of the things that I'm going to be doing is working with comicspriceguide.com, working with Go Collect to actually get this comic loaded to their databases. And then I'm going to be releasing from my website raw copies, blue label 9.8s, yellow label 9.8s that are actually signed by me, because CGC is going to recognize my signature as a creator. So that's what's going to be happening at some point in the month of August. So I definitely want to encourage you guys to stay tuned to the website and also to the channel for that matter, to kind of know what's going to be coming. But I and the Patreon members have been holding this water for a couple of months. We have literally been keeping this secret for a couple of months. I actually did an unboxing for Patreon members, I guess maybe a month and a half ago or something like that. When the artwork actually arrived, I did an unboxing for them and actually showed them what the artwork looked like, and then talked to them about all of the details. And so I'm pleased to finally be able to share this with you guys. And part of the reason why I didn't talk about it sooner was because some of this stuff has a long lead time, and you don't know if everything is going to come to fruition. So you're always like, well, who do I tell and how much do I say if I don't know that it's going to happen definitively? So you're always a little coy, if you will, with some of the stuff. But now it's like, it's going to happen now. Now it's going to happen. And I feel very comfortable like saying it out loud to a larger group of people, hence this live stream. So let me scroll down and see what else you guys are going on. I just told you guys, so everybody's hearing it now. Is the artist going to sign? The artist is not going to sign because I don't even know if he signed up with CGC, to be honest with you. He actually signed, like most artists, the artwork is actually signed by him. He signed it right there, and then I'll be signing it as well. But no, we're not going to be doing the yellow label, the dual yellow label thing signed on 2 different days. We won't be doing that. It'll just be my signature. His name is Yukio. Yuko Smith. Yukio. Let me look him up real quick. Yep. And it's all one word. Yuko Smith. This is him right here Awesome, awesome guy. It was honestly a pleasure to work with this guy. You know, I gave him some guidance for what I wanted to see, and then I just let him be creative. And his style to me is a little Jackson Pollocky, where he does a really good job rendering things, but then he makes them not messy, but enhances them with like the drippings. I don't know how he does it, but I dig Yukio's style. So I'm pleased that we were able to work on this. And if I do another cover again, I may end up working with him again, just because I enjoyed the experience of working with the guy. So me too. I really like the black and white myself. And I was debating whether I wanted to do a black and white or color. And I felt like I had to do the color, because I think that that's going to have broader appeal, to be honest with you, than the black and white, even though I personally prefer the black and white. So I'm very thankful I have the original artwork. I'm very thankful for that. But I debated that, and there will only be 500 copies of this comic that are created. The goal, again, raw book, blue label 9.8, yellow label 9.8, and then some of the probably the yellow labels will come with a reader copy, but there will be 500 copies only that are printed. And my guess is that not all 500 will be sold, because some of them will be reader copies that are provided to people. So will your name be under the notes on the right side of the label? I don't know. You know what? I think it's going to be in both, to be honest with you. It's probably going to be on the right side because it is a Regie Collects exclusive variant. And then also because I'm going to be signing it, it'll probably be in the middle as well. So it'll be on the right-hand side, like Regie Collects exclusive variant. And then in the middle, it'll probably be like, you know, signed by Reggie Simmons on such and such date, whatever date it is that I actually signed it. So I think that that's how it's going to work. But again, I don't know. I don't know. Check that out. Check that. Small world, right? Small world, man. That is crazy. J Hood Creative is in the house. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. I like Yukio. He's out of Ohio somewhere. I dig the guy. We never spoke by phone. We exchanged a lot of messages, but I never had an opportunity to speak by phone. But it was really cool to work with him. So I'm going to keep this OA. I'm going to keep it until the wheels fall off, when I become like super popular, and then I'll sell it. You know, it's just one of those things, man, that I am trying to like live out my dreams. You know what I'm saying? Like I cannot draw to save my life. You guys know that. I may never, ever write a comic book. This may be the closest that I come to, like, you know, being that kid back in the day that it's like, man, I want to do a comic book. This might be the closest that I get, you know? So I'm going to celebrate this thing, man. I'm going to celebrate it. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to have fun. And what happens in the future with some of this stuff happens in the future. But for right now, we're just having fun. We're just having fun. So let me scroll down through the comments here. No, you know, the thing is, I thought about that, but you also have to remember that costs also go up. The cost every time, and the minimum requirements are 500. So, you know, you're looking at 1,000 copies, and I have roughly 9,000 subscribers. I don't know if I could sell 1,000 copies, right? So it's all about that balance. You know, people are like, well, why don't you get more sizes of shirts, and why don't you release more shirts? There's a balance. There is a balance to all of this stuff, where it has to make sense. Because like I mentioned before, all the money just kind of moves around, right? And it's like, if the money goes in one area and just sits and just gets sucked down, then it prevents me from doing some of the other things that I want to do. And I will tell you, there are other projects that are in the works that you guys will be hearing about, that I've been working on for months and months and months, that you guys will start to hear more about. Patreon members know about some of this stuff because I've been talking to you guys about some of this stuff. So I am not going to be sketching on a cover. Nobody wants me to sketch on a cover. I'm going to be completely honest. No one wants that. I am probably going to sign my name, and I may write a statement of some sort, you know, like, and I was talking to Master Blaster, I think, about this, and he was giving me some tips and pointers. He's a Patreon member, so he's known about this, and he was giving me some tips and pointers and things to think about and consider, which I appreciate. And so I may write a statement like Stan Lee's Excelsior or something like that. I don't know what it'll be just yet. I'm going to be honest with you. My handwriting is horrible. My handwriting is horrible. My signature is fantastic because it's just one thing, but my handwriting is not that good. So I don't want to defile this fantastic cover with my poor penmanship. I'm like, talk to my wife, Kel, can you write this? And then I'll just sign. Can you just draw me a picture real quick and then I'll sign next to it? If I could do that, I might actually do it. Never really hung out with him much. Oh, the comic got away from me. I am so behind. I am so behind. Yeah. So the way that I'm actually going to do it, is the logo, the Regie Collects logo. So the back cover is going to be solid red. That's basically what I've asked for, solid red, because that is the color of the channel. And then it's going to have gung ho at the top because that's the only place where the actual book will be mentioned, because it won't be on the front because it's a virgin. So I want gung ho on the back so we at least know what title it is. Then I have them putting the Regie Collects logo there, and then there'll be something down at the bottom. And basically, if I get my wish, there will only be those 3 elements that are actually on this book. So yeah. So that's basically what it'll be. And I'm not gonna give all the details away, but that's essentially the gist of it. That's essentially the gist of how this thing is actually gonna do. So scrolling down, did Yukio do the childish? I don't know. I don't know that. I actually don't know that. It would not surprise me. The dude is super talented, man. He's super talented. So scrolling down through some of the comments, still working on the prices, man. For me, what I'll probably do is the raw books are going to be, in my head, relatively inexpensive, right? And the goal is to not send people damaged books, but to actually be able to send them a nice copy of the variant out as a raw copy. The pricing for the blue label and for the yellow label is somewhat to be determined. And as you guys know, if you factor in the cost of getting a book slabbed, do I have to get it pressed? It depends on how the books actually show up. They may have to be pressed. Then they will of course have to be graded and encapsulated, and they also have to be shipped. And so there is a price that is associated with all of that stuff. So that creates the floor. And then of course I need to be able to make some money to recover the money that has already been spent. So it'll be this balance, right? We may be offering the raw relatively inexpensive to make sure that people can participate, but then have some other options for people, a 9.8 blue label and then a yellow label that is signed that go up in price for those that want to do something like that. So hopefully that makes sense. Brother, you don't want to remark. You don't want to remark. JT's gonna open it up and be like, what did this dude do on the cover of this This dude does not see. Here's the dude you want to do remarks. This guy right here, from Heroes to Icon. This dude actually has talent. He has artistic talent to be able to actually draw some stuff and make it look like what you actually want it to look like. Whereas I would try to do it, you'd be like, well, so what exactly were you trying to create here, sir? So let me scroll down to the comments here. Let me scroll down. Pre-sale reg with the deposit. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the black man, you guys are killing it. I don't know. I've got to noodle that one. Again, this thing has actually been in the works for several months, and so I don't even know if I can unring the bell. But I need to noodle it some more to see what the possibilities of that are. That it's a big commitment, right? I mean, because I'm gonna be completely honest. These are not they're small numbers compared to Marvel, but they're not small numbers. You know what I'm saying? And yes, we have, 9,000 people that subscribe to the channel, but I cannot assume that 9,000 people will buy the book. I cannot make that assumption. I'm trying to make some assumptions about what people will actually do. And what I will tell you is that, sometimes you have to stick a toe in the water before you jump in. And so I would say that if this first one is successful, with what I'm attempting to do, that gives me motivation to try to do it again. That is the commitment that I will make, is that if this one is successful, I will try to do it again. And because to me, I've spent a lot of time over this last year or plus actually talking with different people that do exclusive variants, like the owner of IG Comic Store. We talk a fair bit, or used to talk a fair bit. And I've learned a lot about how he does some things. These variants are not cheap to make. they are not inexpensive. And so, you try to make really smart decisions with your limited resources so as to not mess things up, but I will commit to that. If this goes well, then I will do more of these, so scrolling down through the comments here, Reggie is doing a Reggie Collects exclusive virgin variant with the Blaze Studios. It is indeed going down. Emerald, thank you, brother, for stopping by. Definitely appreciate it. Draw your best gift. Atrocious is what it will be. This guy never slows down. Talked one goal and then, man, here's the thing, bro. You already know that there are at least like 4 projects that are in the works right now, right? And those are the ones that I've talked to you guys about. I have at least a couple more that are in various stages of development. And when I tell you guys I'm always noodling something, I'm honest with you. I am always like noodling things and trying to say, for me, it's like, what can I do different than everybody else? What can I do special? What can I do that is memorable? What can I do to have some fun? And it's like, I'm trying to do different stuff, than everybody else out there. Because it's just like, that to me is where the magic is, Could I do some of the things that other people do? Yes. Would it be as much fun? I don't know. I don't know if it's fun when you follow in someone else's footsteps versus when you blaze your own trail, whether it be successful or not. Sometimes blazing your own trail is what makes it interesting. That's part of what makes it interesting for me, is that I get to stand there, wash dishes and pontificate on the possibilities. And then I actually get to see those things come to life. That to me is fun. So yeah, man, we have a lot of irons in the fire. Gung Ho 7. So that's the one we're going to be doing. It is the very last book in the story arc. I think it's called the Black Sheep story arc. It is the last book from Gung Ho. And so it's going to be cool, man. I'm definitely pumped about this. Scrolling down, man, brother, I try. I don't always get it right, but I do try. So scrolling down. All right. So Pretty Fly for Filipino guy just popped in here. It's good to see you, brother. We have another Reginald. Oh, here we go. So we have another Reginald Simmons that pops in from time to time. And now we have another Reginald Akins. So we want to leave that up on the screen. He says, my money is already on the way. That's what's up. No, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I really do appreciate in advance the support that people have expressed, towards this. And there are some people out there, as I've mentioned already, that have known about what I'm working on. And it's nice to know that you can take some chances and that those chances will be supported, and to me, man, it's about the memories. It's about the fun of it. It's about the experience of doing some things that haven't been done before. There are some YouTubers that actually beat me to the variant punch. And mind you, I've been thinking about this one for a while. They beat me to the punch with the variants. And somebody was like, well, let me not talk about that. But, somebody beat me to it, or people have beat me to it, and that's fine. So my thing is, well, they didn't do it exactly how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it a little bit different. And so while it's very similar, it is still unique enough to me that it makes it still fun for me and different, because I had to figure out how to create this thing. I had to figure out how to actually do a variant, right? With a publisher and with an artist and with timelines during COVID. And then then it's like trying to figure out how to get the thing in the pricing guides and how to do the thing with the CGC. To me, that is all the fun of it, So scrolling up through the comments here. Oh man, you have, what is this? Rush Star has, you have 2 spots available for Mark to ASM 110 and your variant to be put behind you. Yeah, man, there we go. Man, I don't even know if I could get Mark's attention at this point. This dude is so busy making covers for you guys. I don't even know if I could get him to do another cover for me back there. But yeah, maybe what we do is we do one over here of the variant on this side, and maybe we do ASM 110 over there, the homage, and we just kind of run them together, you know? So you guys are awesome. So I am going to wrap this thing up. What is this? Will there be a limit on how many? No, I'm not going to do any of that. I'm not going to do any of the limits or any of that other kind of stuff. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, the ultimate limit will be the 500 copies that I'm actually going to be printing. But how they're actually, how many in each bucket, I don't know, you know, and I need to give some thought to it, whether I do a pre-order, because the last thing you want to do, and I'm making this up, I do 100 of the yellow label. That's a lot of cash out of pocket. And then if only 10 people want them, I'm stuck with a lot of copies of this yellow label. So I need to think about how best to handle placing that order for the 9.8s, both the yellow label and also the blue label. And thankfully, I have a few days off of work here soon that will allow me a little bit of mental space to actually think through how best to do that. And again, I think once I get the timing back from the publisher on when I will actually receive my hard copies, that will also give me some insight in how best to do it, right? So definitely more to come on that. There was a comment, this comment here about the UK. So, you know, the thing with the UK and even with Canada for that matter, the shipping costs are really high. You guys know that. It cost me $48 to actually ship one slab, well, anywhere between 1 to 3 slabs to Canada. It's about $48 is how much it will cost me. And here in the States, it's only about, you know, $15, $13 to ship it across the country. So will this be available outside the United States? What I will say is maybe. I will say maybe. If somebody is willing to pay the shipping costs, I will be willing to figure out how to actually ship it there. Let's put it there. Let's put it there. And then we can revisit, you know, because the challenge is the shipping is just, it's expensive. It's prohibitive in many ways. And I don't know why it has to be that expensive, you know? So I will say maybe. All right. So I'm going to scroll down. If you do a pre-order, you can have my money immediately. Paul L., I like you, brother. I like you, brother. Yeah, we may actually do a pre-order. I may, now that it's out there for a larger group of people, I'm sure that people will be posting up, you know, what they think should be done. And that will potentially give me some confidence, that it will be okay to do a pre-order. The last time I did a pre-order was for some t-shirts, and my printer took, in my opinion, a little too long to get the shirts done. And I had people reaching out to me asking questions because they had money in limbo, and it made me uncomfortable. You guys know that I don't like talking about money, and I certainly don't like holding people's money, and especially when I'm not in control of things. And so that t-shirt thing, it made me uncomfortable. People were reaching out like, hey, what's going on? I don't want to be a bother, but hey, you know, what's going on? And part of the reason why I don't even ship to Canada unless I can help it is because I literally had some t-shirts that I sent to Canada in limbo for like a month and a half. And that made me uncomfortable because the person that was in limbo was a really awesome guy. And it was like, bro, I don't know where your shirts are. It says your shirts are still like en route. I don't know where they are. And I felt really, really bad. And I don't enjoy that. I'm the guy that does not enjoy owing people money. You know, that is just not my gig. So I need to think about it. Maybe I need to just get over myself. maybe that's the answer, is that I just need to get over myself. But maybe I will consider a pre-book. Maybe that's the best way to kind of have people have some skin in the game, but also for me not to overspend and overexert myself without truly knowing the interest in something like a 9.8 yellow label or blue label. You know what I'm saying? Because like, even if I were to do a poll, you know, people are going to say yes or no, right? But then circumstances might change by the time that the opportunity actually presents itself. And when it comes time to put that money down, people have other responsibilities, you know? So I want to noodle it some more. And I'll rest assured that I will come to a decision and I will share that decision with you guys. But I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me a little bit. I want to thank you for the excitement that you guys expressed with this variant, because I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it, and it makes it even more enjoyable for me because you guys are like, that is a cool cover. That's a cool idea. That's a cool thing. Take my money. Those are all honestly just cool things for me to hear, because that's what this is about. You know, so with that, I want to wrap this thing up. If you guys need to reach out to me, feel free to do so on the Instagram machine at Regie Collects. You can also send me an email to Regie@RegieCollects.com. You can visit the website, RegieCollects.com. Don't forget, this book is still available. So if you have not yet watched the videos this week, we'll be giving this book away tomorrow as part of the Ready, Set, Go preview show. So if you have not watched the videos that have come out from the channel, make sure you do that. This is a really nice copy, 6.5 of Thor 134, the first appearance of the High Evolutionary. But like I said, if you guys need me, I am not too hard to find. Take care, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.